Hello and welcome to Drone Tech. This is a new channel that I've just set up. This is post-Christmas because, as with many others, I received one of these for Christmas. It's a DJI Mini 4K. Nearly forgot what it was then. But I'm completely brand new to the drone scene and thought I'd create this channel so I could record my journey into the world of drones as I'm getting absolutely immersed in it. And you could follow me and I can show you any hints and tips and pieces what I do, not just with flying, but with taking that footage and putting it onto editing suites such as DaVinci Resolve, Filmora, etc. So come along, follow me, and let's see how this journey progresses. So what to expect from the channel. So I've made a few ideas, as all do, so I've got a few notes here. So this is what I'm going to be looking at for the year. So I'm going to be looking at DJI batteries, everything about the battery, how to keep it in good health, a few hints and tips. I'm going to be talking about the return to home function as well, because there's so many different options there and scenarios that can put you in a bit of a pickle, and we'll see if we can take you out of a pickle. I've got flight time test, which we're going to be looking at today. We're going to look at, as I said earlier, about editing suites, DaVinci Resolve, which I've tried, Filmora I've tried, there's a few others out there. So we're going to look at what works best for beginners, because that's who I am, I'm a beginner. Going to look at apps as well that I'm using, weather apps, maps to apps with maps, which are going to look at where you can fly a drone safely, what those maps actually have on them, what they don't have on them, such as bylaws as you get in the UK as well. As I progress through my journey, we're going to be looking at learning to fly. How do we learn to fly a drone? Because it is a little bit tricky, to be honest. I've been out a couple of times. I'm still trying to wrap my head around all the controls and getting those all together. I've had this once, and my first one is the don't panic rule. So when you get a warning or it says it can't return to home, it is really easy, as I did when I got this high winds warning, can't return to home, drop your altitude immediately, massive panic, what do I do? And the key thing in the situation is to remain calm because the drone's not going anywhere. But we'll have a look at that and look at that in a bit more in depth, and that might help some people not lose their drones. And if you do lose it, how to find it. Also, should you use a phone or a tablet with the controller? At the moment I'm using a phone, but I'm already thinking, do I buy a specific little tablet just to increase that size? Some people, when they get older, as me, I'm slightly short-sighted, so it does get a little bit difficult to see as well, so we'll be exploring that. Strobe lights on on drones. I did buy a couple of strobe lights. I've put them on, so we'll look at the pros and the cons with that. Can you see them, where to place them? Do they take the drone over 250 grams or more? Because that's a consideration to take, which I nearly tripped up with. Also, I really want to take this and see if I can fly it at night. I want to see what the footage is like, how different it is flying at night, what you have to do, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, etc. And looking at generally the equipment that I use at the moment. Obviously it will change as I evolve and I progress and I get a little bit better at drone and the drone world, so we'll have a look at all that. So stay tuned, that's to come for the year. So I've seen people talk about flight time, how long you get to fly one of these when you put it up, and I know it's going to differ with wind conditions, whether it's warm, whether it's cold. So there's lots of other factors in there, but people give an estimation sort of time. But what I wanted to do was a bit of a real world test to see how it performs. So off the back of that, I decided to do a very non-scientific test with this, and the test that I've done and that I'm recording we'll have a look at is I put this drone into my back garden. I basically pressed the launch button so it was 1.2 meters off the ground, and then just left it there and filmed it. It was a bit of a blustery day, but where my garden is a little bit sheltered, so you can see it does move back and forwards. So I put it up 1.2 meters and just left it there to see how long it would be before obviously the battery depleted. Now these batteries, I think, on these are fairly intelligent. So what it'll do, it'll work out how far you've flown out, for example, if it's really windy, and it will give you that return to home window. So for this one, the return to home window is quite short because it's only 1.2 off the ground, hasn't gone anywhere, and it'll land back down. So it's really going to maximise, obviously, the battery life. What DJI say, I think, from looking at it, is up to 31 minutes, but that'll be in lab conditions, probably indoors, absolutely perfect. So we're never ever going to experience that. So this is just a real world test in my garden with a bit of blustery wind in there to see what we get out of it. And I've put a timer on there. I won't play the whole thing all the way through. I'll speed it up so we can see basically at the end of it what sort of time that we've got. That'll give you a really good indication as to when you're flying that drone, you know, keeping an eye on the top right. I think that shows where the battery is. So it'll show you the green circle, or they have a circle on there. Most of it is green, and that will be, you know, the good flying time. Then you'll have an amber, I think, which is the warning. Then the red, where it'll basically be saying the battery's too low. Let's bring it back home, and it'll do the auto return to home and hopefully come back to you and land safely. But let's have a look at the footage and let's see what we got. So there we go. Footage shows 24 minutes and around about 30 seconds, give or take. So 5.5 minutes off what DJI say, sort of like the 31 minutes, their top flying time, which I don't think is achievable. So I would say 25 minutes is a really good benchmark. If it is really, really windy, obviously really, really cold, then it's going to be a lot less. But it was a good real world test to see what came out. So there you go, 24 minutes and about 30 seconds. So thanks for watching and being part of my first video here on drone tech. I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to see what's coming up, as I've gone through earlier. And it would really help if you hit the bell icon on there as well, and that would help this channel grow as we sort of take this journey together through learning about drones and all the tech that is involved behind them, because there is a lot. Now, for the next video that I've got lined up, I've actually discovered a hidden little gem within the DJI Fly app. I'm not going to say too much now, but for someone like me who likes to get down in all the detail and all the data and other bits and pieces, it's a really good sort of post-flying thing to go in and have a look at. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button as I said, and then that next video will be up, and then hopefully I'll show you something new that you never knew about, because I've not actually seen anybody talk about this on YouTube or anywhere, so I think it is pretty much a hidden gem. And let's see what it's all about. Safe flying, everybody.